how to use the other parameters in astrology for a day-to-day thing. You are born at the astrological. Now this video is about to use the astrological parameters which is not very cumbersome in calculation, but which can help you to use the astrology in a very effective manner. Earlier video I had spoken to you about the Janma Nakshatra and the other component of it. Now, how to use Janma Tithi? Janma Tithi is generally, Tithi means it is usually used for negative things. It is in the Tithi, when a person dies in a particular Tithi, then that Tithi is taken into consideration, not the Nakshatra which is taken into consideration. So Janma Tithi is a time which you do negative events into your life. For example, you want to give the debt to somebody, use the Janma Tithi. You want to go pick up a fight with somebody, use the Janma Tithi. You want to vacate a house, use the Janma Tithi. You want to sell certain things, use the Janma Tithi. And you want to visit the dead grave, use the Janma Tithi. You want to do the Shraddha ritual about it, use the Janma Tithi. So Janma Tithi is an indicator of the negative things you can do. And Janma Nakshatra is supposed to be the positive things you can do with the life across. So the point is, now Tithi comes twice a month. In the Shukla Paksh Tithi, the Krishna Paksh Tithi comes in. If you are born in the Shukla Paksh, use the Shukla Paksh Tithi as a main focus. If you are a Krishna Paksh Tithi, use the Krishna. You are born in Krishna Paksh, use the Krishna Paksh Tithi as a prime driver. So Tithi means it's a negative aspect of life, so it can be used for the negative aspect of life. For example, you want to throw things, you want to give things, you want to vacate a house, you want to dispose of a property, you want to give off few things across, you want to visit a dead person's relatives, like that. Any negative things which can be used in the Tithi is very, very important. So actually, if you see, generally don't do positive things in the Tithi. Like for example, attending the interview, going towards doing something very new, buying up a house, seeing a property, buying of jewels, buying of vehicles, and trying to see the marriage proposal, trying to consult a doctor for a major surgery. In fact, you can do the surgery on the Janma Tithi. Anything where there is a spilling of the blood and the spilling of the thing, you can use the Janma Tithi as an example for doing negative things across. So if you want to start, it's a simple rule. If you want to start something, use the Janma Nakshatra. If you want to end something, you want to end a relationship, you want to end a friendship, you want to end a house, end a place, then use the Janma Tithi. So that will be a very, very useful tip in using the astrological principles about it, which helps you to identify when you can do what. Of course, you can use the Muhurta principle. If you are very defunct about the using the Muhurta principle, this can be used very, very easily across, where the Janma Tithi is used at the end of the things, where you can keep looking at it in all the things to come to an end. If you want to dispose of a cell phone, you want to dispose of a house, if you want to dispose of an object, you want to dispose of the computer, you want to throw away the old clothes, you want to fire somebody, then use your Janma Tithi as a point of reference into your life across. This will help you to clear the space, clear the energy very, very easily across. Now, the other point is using the Janma Hora. Now, there are many people who are tuned into a certain Hora. They use the Guru Hora, they use the Saturn Hora, they use the Mars Hora, like that across. Now, use the general Hora. Use the Janma Hora. The Hora which you are born is very, very important indicator across. That is why people who are born in Rahu Kala, Yamakanda, with the Hora coinciding, normally has a lot of problem into their personal life across. Suppose I am born in a Tuesday and the Hora would be approximately that of Mars. So the Mars Hora has to be used by me again and again for doing a variety of things. Like for example, starting a thing, doing a thing, you will go ahead and use the Hora as an example for that. Now this will help you to align yourself very easily. Suppose you are born in the Janma Nakshatra, Janma Dina and the Janma Hora coincides together, then that particular day has to be used by you to get things done. For example, you're born in a Tuesday and Janma Hora is that of Mars and your Janma Nakshatra is that of Maka, which falls on that particular day. All the three factors coincides together. Your Janma Nakshatra coincides with the Janma Hora and the Janma Dina. So all these coincide. This is a very, very powerful combination to use. Generally rely on your birth Hora. The birth Hora is a very, very powerful tool in determining a people's life. For example, you are born in Saturn Mars Hora. Generally life will have a lot of conflict, problem, issues, but if you start using the Janma Hora for getting things done, you make a alignment with your birth time, which will be very, very helpful to you. Now I'll give you an example. There was a guy who was having all kinds of problem into his life, and I told him very specifically, please use the Janma Hora. You try to light the lamp in the Janma Hora. You do things after lighting the lamp. He was born in a Saturn Hora, so I asked him to light the lamp in the Saturn Hora, and it turned out to be such a thing that slowly and steadily he started gaining control of his life. He was able to overcome a lot of difficulty across. So please understand, your Janma Hora is a very, very valuable tool. We have spoken about Janma Nakshatra, Janma Tithi, Janma Dina, Janma Hora, and which is very, very important and valuable tip for a people of non-astrological origin. You just cast your date of birth, all these details will come across and it will be alignment of the time across. Now, if you are into a stock trader, if you are a stock market professional, you are interested in stock trading, you are tending to lose money, then sell the trade. Sell the trade during the Janma Tithi and buy during the Janma Nakshatra. Now, if you are able to buy in the Janma Nakshatra, if you are able to sell in the Janma Tithi, you will generally be able to make a profit across. Now, this is a very, very valuable thing, that is buying and selling, giving and receiving has to be done in Janma Nakshatra, and the giving has to be done with the Janma Tithi. So Janma Hora is also very, very important. You start doing the good things exactly on the Janma Hora. The other one is the Janma Lagna passes every day on that particular thing. Now it could be anything across, and you could be passing on the, and it can be a way, it can be the Janma Lagna. Suppose you are born in Dhanus, then see when the transit of Dhanus happens, see when the transit of Makar happens. Do generally some good deeds. Take an initiative and do things in that particular time across, which will be very, very helpful to you as a person. So the Janma Lagna, the Lagna in which you are born, becomes a very, very important tool in doing something very good. And every Janma Lagna, you will have something very good which will be happening. The 8th house of the Janma Lagna, you will have problem. Generally, don't try to do in the 8th, 6th, 12th of your Janma Lagna. For example, there are people who are born in Dhanush Lagna, then don't try to do anything on the Rishabha Lagna because it is 6th, and the 8th house is that of the Kataka Lagna, and the 12th house is that of the Vrichika Lagna. So don't try to do on all these 3 Lagnas, which will be very, very helpful to you. And this is a very, very specific principle of Muhurta. It is in person to you as a person, and it need not be for the outside people across. Outside people, there are different Muhurta principles which are used, but this you can use it into your astrological principle. You can use the Janma Lagna in which you are born and the Janma time in which you are born. Simply light the lamp, simply go on lighting the lamp. You will have lot of clearance in the energy body, and it will be very easy for you to evolve into your life. You are a very spiritual person. If you want to do the meditation, just do it on the Janma Lagna and the Janma time in which you are born, which will be very, very helpful to you as a person. Now, this is a very, very valuable tip which can be used across. Thank you.